Hello, this is John McAllister with the McAllister Scouting Report. Tonight, my guest is Broc Lowry, a quarterback going into his senior year from Canfield High School over in Northeast Ohio. In the last 2 years, Canfield's gotten to the regional finals and been beaten both times by Chardon. And Brock told me that they're going to try to end that streak here this year. But he's a good-looking quarterback. I think that he has a chance to be the best one coming out of Ohio this year in the 2023 class. I liked him. I saw him play last year. He's gotten stronger, and really look forward to talking with him on my video podcast. So if you'd sit back and enjoy listening to Broc Lowry from Canfield High School. Tonight, my guest is an old friend. I saw him play last year in Canfield High School. He's Broc Lowry's coming back, going into his last year as a quarterback, and I'm excited for him. I've known he's gotten stronger, and I'm really excited to talk to him. Broc, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on the show.
Well, I did it last year, and I still think you're the best quarterback in Ohio. So
thank you.
I think people are, they took him a while, but I think you've gotten some Division I offers and not maybe one Power Five, but I think you've proven things. You've done a good job. Okay, let's talk about different questions now. But why football? What's the best thing about playing football?
I just love the competitive aspect of it. I mean, you can't really get that competitive in baseball. I mean, maybe a little bit in basketball, but football, it's the most team sport you could get, and I just love that part of it. Growing up, I played football all my life. Baseball used to be my number one sport, but now I got into football, and I just grew to love it.
Yeah, that's really good. What's the difference between liking football and loving football?
Well, liking football, you just do the bare minimum. You come to practice, you leave early, you're not the first one there. But loving football is you're completely dedicated to it. Your whole summer is just football. It's the only thing you watch on TV, and it's your whole life basically.
It's really good. They'll ask you that. Everybody will ask you that. I interviewed a guy 3 weeks ago, went to Michigan, and he said in high school, they practice for a couple hours in the morning, take a break, and go home, come back, or practice in the evening. He said he went to Michigan. Every day was 7 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
If you do those things, then you obviously love football.
Yeah,
because it's a business.
Yeah,
but it's good. As you look back, what are things you have to improve on going into this season?
Definitely cleaning up my mechanics in the pocket, because sometimes when I get tired, you'll notice I get a little bit sloppy with my mechanics. That's one thing. I had 3 interceptions last year, so I'd like to obviously limit that down to 0 with no turnovers. So those are just a couple of things.
Yeah, I think I saw those last year. I saw one of them, I think, in the first game of the season.
Did you second game against Dover.
Yeah, that was second game. That's true. Well, that's really good. I know how much. Have you put on much weight since last year?
Yeah, I was 192 at the end of the season last year, and now I'm 205.
Is that right?
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure that's a good weight.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that, and working on arm strength.
Yep.
It's good. I don't remember that so much being. I think what your good things you're doing. I think you're going to have to read quicker. I think maybe read defenses quicker and get and get the ball off quicker sometimes, but you do get it off even flat-footed. You've got really good arm strength. And I think the other thing is you're able to scramble or escape and still find a receiver downfield. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
you keep that's a good sign. But it's really exciting. As you look back, has there been a highlight so far going into your season? Has there been something that you'll always remember so far? A Kodak moment or a scrapbook moment?
Yeah, that last play against Dover was really it was. I think you watched it. It was like 4th down, 5 seconds to go. I scrambled to I sprint out to my left, then back out to my right, and I throw it in the end zone. And it looked like my receiver caught it with his feet in, but they called it.
It's
That he
pretty close.
didn't. So that's something I always remember.
Yeah, I would guess. That's positive and negative, I guess.
Yeah.
Give it to you. That's good. As you look back, what we talked about this last year. What are words you live by? What motivates you, Brock? What drives you?
I mean,
you have a desire to be the best. I had a quarterback a little while ago tell me, he said, I think I'm the best quarterback out there. He's in the junior class. Behind you. And what drives you? Anything that just makes you want to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go work out, and then all these things, go to school. Is there anything like that drives you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting a lot of recognition right now, but not as much as I think I should. And
Right.
But that kind of motivates me to become better. And yeah. So.
I tell players all the time that, I think everybody has to play with a chip on their shoulder. It can't be a big cement block, but it can be a brick. I think you have to go in, and that's not negative. I think you just have to go in and, prove people, do the best you can, and that makes you better sometimes.
Yeah.
Doing that, and that's really good. Okay. As you've gotten older now, what really annoys you? Give me something that really bothers you.
With football or
football? Yeah, football.
Really
anything bother you? Players not working out, anything like it. What annoys you? Anything?
Probably when you tell someone something twice and they're just not being coachable, like a young sophomore or something, you tell them to do a route and then they screw it up twice. Just being uncoachable, I guess.
Okay, that's good. You have to come down on them a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, as we talked about the top sports moment, tell me about track. I know you're going to go to track this year and not baseball, and to get faster and stronger. And it's a good idea, I think, as you're competitive. And what events are you going to perform in track?
I'm going to do the high jump and long jump. Then I'll probably be in the 4x1 relays,
right?
4x2 relays.
Yeah, that sounds good. That 4x4 might be a little long for you, unless
that's a lot.
Train for that, But well, that sounds good. Anything's got to help your speed. And then I think I've coached both sports, track and baseball, and I think track may afford you more time to work on football too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Games so long and you play a lot. I loved it. I coached it. Track, you get to leave earlier and you get to work on football and things like that.
Yeah, it's a lot more individualized, not like not too team centered. So you could kind of leave when you're done doing your stuff and work on football more. So
it's exactly what advice would you give? You talked about kind of scolding a receiver. What advice would you give to an up and coming quarterback? The next guy that replaces you, what are you going to talk to him about? What does he have to work on?
Just be a leader on your team. And even if it's guys that are older than you or in the same grade as you, I know it's hard to to get on your buddies if they're messing around at practice or not paying attention, but that's something you have to do, especially with older guys, and just set an example for the younger players too, so they know what kind of culture you want in that locker room.
Well, that's really good. And did you start as a sophomore?
Yeah, I started as a sophomore.
On offense, quarterback?
Yeah, but offense and defense.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
So you've been in the grind for a while now, the process.
Yeah.
That's really good. Talk about recruiting a minute. Well, how's recruit? I don't want to get into it very much because that's not what I do. But what's recruiting been like so far?
Yeah, it's been heating up for me over the past month. I've received offers from Buffalo, Illinois State, Western Michigan, just some schools like that over the past few weeks.
Okay. I've read Twitter and I saw some of those, and the disappointment is you see other people really getting shown a lot of love and you don't sometimes. That's disappointing sometimes. A lot of guys go through that. And I think the spring will tell a lot. And I'm sure coaches will come around and watch you throw. As a quarterback, no matter what anybody tells you, they almost have to see you throw in person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just, even the bigger Power 5 schools, the same process, I think. And that's going to be good for you. Are you going to go to you'll go to some camps this summer? Or are you going to, how are you going to handle that? Do you know yet?
I'm not 100% sure if I would go to camps this summer, but I'll definitely go on like visits, and I'm going to some spring practices.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. Tell me about energy. Energy is huge. I think we have to play with energy. What kind of energy do you bring to the Canfield football team?
I feel like I bring the most energy on the team just because I have to play quarterback and my mind has to be sharp the whole game, and I'm also playing defense as well. So I have to have the most energy and
what way
keep my mind right.
What way do you have? What energy do you show?
Well, I'm just give 100% every play. So I can't take plays off at quarterback because every single play I have the ball in my hand.
Right.
And just not taking any plays off.
And if you take a play off at free safety, it may be torture you for a touchdown too.
Yeah.
Over your head, so to speak.
Yeah.
What was there ever a time when the light came on for you? Was there ever a time when you just said, "Hey, I got to change and get better. I got to take this more serious. I got to get after it." And then you're a whole different player. Did that happen to you at all? Because you've got 3 years to look back. Any time in that 3 years, did you see that?
Oh, yeah. Well, after our regional final loss at my sophomore year to Chardon, when we lost 38-6, it was a big reality check. It was definitely my motivation throughout the rest of the off season, and it is again this year. So that's my motivation. Yeah,
step it up. It's time. You even stepped it up from last year.
Yeah,
through the winter and things like that. That's really good. If I'm going to I have a few more questions. Let's see. What do we've talked about it maybe, but I think it's important. What do you think you have to improve on? Did you say more stronger so that you don't get tired late in games, or you got to always be on, you got to step it up a little bit? What do you think?
Really focusing on my mechanics when I'm like tired, because in the middle of the game when you're really tired, and sometimes my mechanics get a little sloppy in the pocket. So
okay, then what would be? We're in pretty good shape here. What would be a measuring stick you would use for choosing the right school, the right college, right football program? I mean, I don't want you to say this is a program, but what are you looking for when you go there? I mean, are you
I'm
looking
looking.
for, and I've asked guys this for years when I did evaluations, exactly what are you looking for?
I'm looking for a school that I'm comfortable with, and that when I want to talk to the head coach, I don't have to make like an appointment or something. I could just walk in and talk to them. And yeah, somewhere I'm comfortable with. I feel like I'm at home, even in those winter months when it's 10 degrees out and you just wish you were with your family, but you have a great support system of teammates and coaches around you as well.
I think one thing, Brock, that I don't think young players look at enough is culture. Sometimes they get caught up in the highest rated school. Power five schools offer you got to go there. Well, the culture may not be for you. You know, it may not. It may be. You know, the coaches don't speak to you. You know, and you're just a number and things like that. Or maybe it's a different kind of culture that people don't get along. Everybody's out for themselves, and I think sometimes I can't get into details. I mean, I could, but I think there's different cultures for people, and
Yeah.
that's important to find the right one. And sometimes we get caught up in going big, and big isn't always better. You know, I think. What about development? Is that important? When you talk to the quarterback coach, is that important?
Oh yeah, 100%. I want to go to a place that will push me to get as best as I can, and they're gonna get the most out of me, so I want to get the most out of them as well. So
Exactly. Same back and forth. Okay. I guess I talked about it, what it would come down to, and you've kind of alluded to that. You've kind of answered that question when you make your final decision and everything. Okay, now we're going to close here in a minute. What about, real quickly, what are you looking forward to this year? It's a silly question in a way, but what are your goals this year?
yeah,
I mean,
I just want to have fun with my buddies in my last year, and obviously we want to win a state championship, and I think we have a really good shot at it with our team.
you get
And
so close. You got a pretty
yeah,
good football coaching staff too. Your head coach isn't too bad.
yeah, I definitely want to get past that regional final, that door we've been knocking on the past few years.
And we'll
So
finals.
yeah, I want to break down that door and get to the state championship.
Well, thank you very much for being on my video podcast. You've gotten older.
Yeah,
You've gotten better answers, and you look older. You look
yeah,
older.
yeah. Thank you.
Brock, thank you very much. Appreciate
Yep,
it.
yep. Thank you.